I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. When I go out, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. If I get drunk, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who gets drunk next to you. And if I haver, yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm walking, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who's working hard for you. And when the money comes in for the work I do, I'll pass almost every penny on to you. When I come home, oh, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home to you. And if I broke, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's going over you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door. When I'm lonely, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who's lonely without you. And when I'm dreaming, well, I know I'm gonna dream about the time when I'm with you. When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And when I come home, yes, I know I'm gonna be the man who comes back home with you. I'm gonna be the man who's coming home with you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more just to be the man who walks 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Your court television news starting now.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to, I'd call it a breaking news, more like a end of the month update, notification for the, or not notification, welcome to a breaking news announcement. Goddamn, I'm all fumbly today. Sorry, I was having too much fun with that video earlier. But anyways, you know what I'm trying to say. Welcome to the NJCourts TV news channel. I'm your host, NJCourts. I'm going to be updating you today on a bunch of news cases. We've got a lot of stuff that's going on that's already passed, a lot of stuff that was supposed to happen today, and we've even got some cases that we're going to talk about that are going to be happening going forth. So a lot of information to fill you guys in. That was just my parody, is what you had to watch for the last 3 minutes instead of the usual introduction. And if you didn't know, that's the I would walk 30 miles, but I'm gonna start crying today because my ankle hurts so much because I had to walk 30 miles to the dispensary today. Today, you're gonna watch a 40-year-old man cry. Today, you're gonna watch a 40-year-old man cry. And that's not me. But anyways, if you didn't catch it, we'll watch a clip that'll explain a little bit more as to what those little pictures you guys saw at the introduction were about. Give you a little hint. Supposedly, Ski Mask Andy alleges that he walked 30 miles yesterday and, just walking aimlessly around the city of Tulsa for no reason. And his ankle's swollen, even though he refused to show it. Well, he did for a second. All you saw was 2 little Band-Aids. Of course, what'll make him feel better is not the emergency room like everybody else is, telling him in his chat to go visit, not to go see a doctor, not to go take ibuprofens. No, what'll make me feel better, hold on, is if I can get a Cashapp. But I'm not going to tell everybody that, right? Anyways, welcome everybody. I think we've given enough time for the notification out to go out. We've got over 100 people in chat. I thank you guys for spending your Monday morning. Technically, it is Monday, September the 23rd of the year 2024, just in case you forgot. Oh, yes. Has this year flew by? It's going to be my favorite holiday coming up soon, Halloween. Then we've got Thanksgiving. Moving on to the big one, Christmas. Then it's that New Year's again, and we'll be entering 2025. Moving on to, holy moly, 3 years of the NJCourts TV channel. So, again, I appreciate all the jury members that have been with me throughout most of this journey, all the viewers that have joined me and have been with me throughout most of this journey, all the haters that have been with me through most of this journey. I welcome everybody. So again, thank you guys for taking the time out of your Monday morning. Technically, for my friends on the East Coast, it is officially now 8 minutes past your afternoon. So welcome everybody. Today, we're going to discuss 3 court updates and some other court news to give you a little bit of an itinerary. We're going to start off discussing the EBZ pretrial conference or court case that was supposed to go on today, court hearing that was supposed to go on today. I'll break that news as to what happened here in a second. Then we're going to move on to old MGL, Michelle, a.k.a. Michelle Sabate, a.k.a. MGL, whatever you refer her by. But it's been a while. I've got a little bit of an update. Has more to do kind of, I would say, on the civil side. I've said this before. This channel has just covered her criminal side. But we are going to talk a little bit about something that's happened on the civil side because I had a lot of people asking me questions in regards to it. So I'm going to try my best to hopefully answer that for you. Then we're going to move on to the third or last court update, well, having to do with people we've already covered. That's going to have to do with Trina Golden. So I've got an update as to what happened on her last hearing. I have more information as to what that whole motion was about. We already explained, if you didn't catch that in my last update, what was going on from her last hearing, but she had a hearing after, which I think we did an update on that, but we still didn't have an explanation as to what happened. We just read the court notes. I've got an explanation as to what happened, and I think there's another court note that we didn't have a chance to read. And I'm also going to share something else that I didn't have a chance to share with you guys on my last update regarding Trina Golden. I forgot, and I'm not going to forget today. Then after that, if we have time, if you guys are still interested, if we still have people in chat, we are going to move on to some more of the national news side, I would call it. Something that this channel's kind of dipped in. I mean, we've kind of been a, all-around show, I'd call it. I mean, we primarily focus on court news, but we like to do other little things. But something that we've tried new this year has been kind of dipping into more of the national news side, reporting on some national news events that I find kind of are interesting, or at least important enough that I want to report on at least on this court news channel. So I've got a couple that I think we've already started talking about that I'm going to give you some updates on. We'll save those for last. And that should pretty much be the show, unless something else pops up, which you never know. Before I forget, we are, and this is going to be an official announcement. We are this afternoon, it'll probably be about an hour after this show ends, we'll be commencing to kind of a sideshow, which will be the harvest number 2 of what I've nicknamed Frankenbud. Oh, yes. I know last week, it's already been 7 days, I was going to do it. And I promised Super Roofer that I'd wait until we started getting a few of the little brown trichomes. They have appeared. I have verified it, okay, officially. It is the day today that bud, and I did add a foot last time I told you guys. It's closer to 2 feet, not 3 feet. So whoever was in chat that said I was crazy, you were right. I was a little crazy. Hey, you know us guys. We always add an inch. I added a foot, okay? Sue me. Anyways, we are going to be harvesting that massive cola / bud / I've nicknamed it the Franken bud, and that's what I'm officially going to call it. The first harvest was some of the frosted flakes. I think the third harvest I'm going to continue to remain to call the frosted flakes. This bad boy is definitely going to be called Franken bud. And when we get to that portion of the IRL stream, I'll explain why I've nicknamed it. And I think it rightfully should. It fits it. But we'll get to that later. Like I said, you guys want to join me after this broadcast. I will be harvesting probably what I've dubbed one of the world's largest colas. For some of you that don't know what a cola is, that's the official term given for that large bud that grows on top of the weed plants, you know. Yeah, it's a massive one. So we're going to be harvesting it today. Today is officially the day. I said I was going to give it 2 weeks, thinking it was going to need 2 weeks to start getting a little bit of the little brown, orange, amber looking trichomes, but it just took it 7 days. And there's some other things going on with the ladies that I need some of your help with, or at least some advice. I don't think it's too bad or too serious, but definitely something I need some advice or need to bring up with my cannabis concierge, we'll call them. All right, let's get to the court news for those that don't give a shit about that. All right, here we go, ladies and gents. So let's start off with EBZ. So as we reported, I think last update, as most of you, especially those of you that have downloaded or took a screenshot or have accessed our e-calendar, which if you don't know where to find that, just go to the main channel page for NJCourts. One of the tabs at the top where it says, you know, video, shorts, live, you'll see one that says community. If you click on that, that's where you'll find all the community notes. Kind of like a Facebook post is what I call it. So if you want to keep up to date with some other things that are, you know, in addition to what you hear on my live streams or broadcast here on the show, you can catch them usually on the community post. So usually, and I try to at the beginning of the month, post a e-calendar. We're a little late this month, my fault, but it was posted. Now, if you had been following that calendar, you would have seen that today, Monday the 23rd, at approximately 9:15 a.m. Central Standard Time, EBZ was scheduled for what was already, I think, going to be, I think at least his second or third, already rescheduled pre-trial conference, okay? He's had a lot of these postponed and rescheduled. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think they were going to give him another chance to reschedule, but they did. So if you're here to wonder what happened with EBZ, they've rescheduled again. So if you're taking notes, get your pen and paper. He is rescheduled for his, again, nothing's changed. It's going to be a pre-trial conference hearing. Is going to be rescheduled for October 28th, next month, same time, 9:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. This is in the state of Texas, more specifically in the city of Austin, Texas. Now, some of you might be wondering, well, hold on. Wasn't EBZ just in Austin not too long ago? Yes, you are correct. As a matter of fact, let me share this with you really quick. Let me just get the link to this clip channel. Shout out to Kick Clips channel. We've already featured a few clips from them, but this was posted on, and let me make sure you guys can see this as well. Excellent. This was posted, or this video was posted on August 16th, okay? Just over a month ago. And this is titled EBZ Meets Fousey, Ice Poseidon's Hunger Games event.
I'll get you whatever you want. I'll even buy you a paintball gun tomorrow if you tell me where the Koreans are.
I need to know where they are myself. Yeah, we don't know where they are.
What's up, y'all? I bet you never thought you'd see EBZ and Fousey on the same screen. I'm scared of this though.
It's all good, brother.
He looks
it's all
scary
good.
as real life. You see the devil in his eyes.
It's all good, brother.
You're in here by yourself.
Well, apparently, as you guys can see, and the reason I played that clip, he was down in Austin, more specifically at Ice Poseidon's Hunger Games. Some of you had followed that event. You noticed he was one of the attendees, one of the people participating in the actual contest, game, whatever you want to call it, okay? So I don't know why he's, had so many, I guess, excuses to not be able to get down to Austin. I understand he's in the state of California. That's currently where he resides. But he obviously didn't have a trouble about a month ago getting down there. And then, most recently, if you've been following EBZ, let me share this with you. Again, this is from, this is another channel. This is the Just Kick Clips channel. So let me share that link here with you guys really quick. Shout out to them for this clip. But if you had been following EBZ, or more specifically just Ice Poseidon and all those kick streamers, they all went down to Las Vegas just a couple of weekends ago, all right? It was actually the weekend before the big UFC fight, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they just didn't go down for one of the probably biggest events Vegas was going to host all year round. But they decided I'll show up there for no reason, just, I guess, party. And I guess, that's right. What's his face? One of the kick streamers, what's the pretty boy's name again? Jack, whatever his name is. He was given a vehicle, one of his Teslas away. So there was some contest going on. But apparently EBZ made it down to Las Vegas just a couple of weekends ago. Here's another clip to give you proof that he was down there. Again, this was, let's see, posted. This clip was posted 2 weeks ago, September 8th.
I was thinking.
Do you understand what this? It's kind of
I
like
hear the story. I hear the story, but I'm the person. I gave the bag. If you look at the camera, you'll see me.
Sir, I can't look at the cameras.
Things like that. But the point is, it is my bag. It is me, and
Do you have an ID that says that the name that's on that bag?
I have some things that would show the name of that bag.
I need something of proof
to
match those up.
Okay.
Because my job is in danger
No, that's
if
basic,
I
man.
hand
That's
it out.
basic. You're talking identification. Simple.
I just hope you know where I'm coming from. Because you wouldn't want me to hand out your bag to someone else.
No, of course, but at the same time, there are things to make. There's things I
I'm
can
giving you
verify.
Hold time out. I'm giving you options. Okay. Let's get something to match up to a name that's on
There are
the
things
bag.
I could verify that would show that. Simple. See how it says kick.com space EBZ?
There it
You
is.
see that?
That's
Okay.
him. He
That's
just
the live stream
confirmed
that's
it.
on right now.
Okay.
Right.
Sir, that's not your ID. That's not an ID.
All right. Well, that was enough of that. Basically, what I guess is going on in that clip, he's in Vegas checking out of his hotel, and he's having some type of argument or conflict with the bag attendant that releases your bags. So he didn't have too much trouble making it down to Las Vegas just a couple of weeks ago. So, I mean, literally, last month in Austin, 2 weekends ago, he's in Vegas. But for whatever reason, he couldn't make it to his hearing today, which they were requiring an in-person attendance. And so they rescheduled. I'm wondering what excuses he's giving his lawyer to give the courts. Because like I said, this now has to be at least the third or fourth time they reschedule. I mean, let me just show you the court paperwork here really quick. Make sure you guys can see this. Oops. There we go. Now you can. But look at down here under the hearings, all the dates. Look at starting here November 9th. Bond review canceled. November 29th, first appearance canceled. Then they have July 10th, pretrial conference canceled. They had it rescheduled for today. That was canceled. Now they have it scheduled for October 28th. Pre-trial appear in person, 9:15 a.m. So no joke. This guy's literally canceled probably 3 to 4. And that's what you can see here. Like they haven't put the note yet for today's date that was rescheduled and canceled. They just got the next hearing scheduled. But that had to be canceled and they had to reschedule for October 28th. So that's today is 1. We see 2, 3. That makes 4. I mean, I don't know how the hell you get away with that, but maybe in Austin they're pretty lenient. I mean, we've learned from all the different court systems that we've covered in all the different states. Hell, just even the different counties in each state can differentiate how they, do things in their court systems. But geez Louise, man, what's going on with you, Austin? Anyways, like I said, I'll try to find out more information as to what were the reasons why he canceled, but I am going to try my best to bring you this hearing that's going to be coming up on the 28th. More news to come once we get closer to that date. All right, so I think it's safe to say we can move on to our next individual. Let me just make sure I got everything here that I wanted to cover as far as EBZ. All right. Yep. All right. So let's move on to old MGL or Michelle. As a matter of fact, let me just jump over to you guys in the chat and make sure I didn't miss anything important. Read any notes. Shout out to everybody coming in a chat. Again, welcome to all the members of the jury. Welcome to all my mods. I appreciate all your hard work these last few months. Well, all the months, but I know these last few months have been super busy. Channel's been busy. I've been busy with the channel in my own personal life. So I appreciate you guys working with me on the scheduling and all that stuff. So again, thank you guys just joining, and let's continue on with the second of 3 individuals we're going to be covering today, and in addition to some other court-related news. So moving on to MGL. Now, this has nothing to do with their criminal side. So like I've said, this channel is always pretty much stuck to covering anything MGL or Michelle Sabate related, just with the criminal side, right? First, it was the first DUI. Then she got a second DUI. Then I can't remember which came before if it came before or after the first DUI. She got in trouble for the harassing a 911 operator on a call. That was one of the most recent cases they just tried and was filed against her, which we went over what happened on that. That's already been disposed and closed of. Now we're waiting to see what happens with the last 2 DUIs that she was arrested for and see when they're going to try those. They do have a limit as far as a time limit in the state of Georgia as far as when they can try those type of cases or how long they have from the time of arrest. And they're still within that. So, but I think they're coming up here pretty soon. I think if I read that right, and let's just look. I hate to guess. I think it was a 2-year limit on DUIs in Georgia. And again, that's from the time they arrest you to how long they have to file that case against you. If they don't file that case against you within that time limit, those charges are dropped, according to what I read. So let me just double check that. But either way, that's nothing too important. I can check on that later. The reason I'm bringing you guys here, the reason we're discussing MGL is because there was some news that went around the weekend, or at least, I don't know, rumors, news. And that's why I kind of want to maybe hopefully answer some questions, maybe confirm some things. But it had to do with the fact that she was supposed to get evicted. I think it was Friday, 20th, September 20th. And I didn't know much about it because, again, I'm not following her civil side. But because I had a lot of people asking me, hey, do you think she's in jail? Do you know what's going on with her? I said, well, let me look into it. I'll dip into it a bit. So I did. So you can find, again, this is all public information, what I'm about to share with you. This is going to be kind of like the same website we went to look up her court records having to do with that harassing a 911 charge. You go through the same website and you can go on the civil side and see what's going on with her divorce case. Okay. This is where this is stemming from, is her divorce. So part of her divorce case, she was supposed to vacate or pretty much be evicted from the home that she rents, whatever you want to call it, from her ex-husband or soon to be ex-husband, Etienne, I think is his name. That was now, and I will confirm that through some court paperwork I'm going to show you. That was confirmed. Again, I didn't know much, but there was this, information going around. Hey, we heard she's supposed to be out of the house on the 20th. I can confirm that is correct. Now, that's based on some court paperwork and a read together. Now, the other question was, well, do you think she got evicted? Do you think she got arrested because she didn't leave? Yada, yada, yada. I'm going to answer some questions to that. I'm going to give you my own personal answer to that, okay? But first, let's go ahead and look at that paperwork for Michelle. Give me just 1 second to bring that up here. Oops, wrong one. This one here. Here we go. And I know it's kind of tiny. Again, if you're on your phone like this, go ahead and go to horizontal mode, and that should put you in full screen mode, and that should help. But either way, I'm going to read through the paperwork. And plus, once I click on the paperwork, I can actually zoom into that to make it easier to read. But what you're looking at is just what I like to call like her docket sheet for her. This is going to be on the civil side. This has to do with the latest case having to do with her divorce case. Okay. There's a few things going on when you look on the civil side. I'm not going to look into these. Some of these might not be Michelle Sabate, but I know the one down here, which is the one that I clicked, is Sabate versus Sabate. And this is Sabate Etienne versus Sabate Michelle. Etienne is the plaintiff. Michelle is the defendant. So we can confirm this is the correct case before I hear it from, the Michelle supporters. Wrong, Michelle. No, it's the right Michelle. Again, there's some other cases that have to do with the divorce. Those have already been closed or disposed of. I'm not going to look into those. Again, I'm not even looking into her civil side. I just want to answer some of those questions for you if I can. So when we go down here, there's a few documents I'm going to share with you. The first one's going to be this court order. And in this court order is where we're going to read or verify the information having to do with the fact that she did have to be pretty much leave the house or move out of the house by the 20th, okay? There's a technical term for that. I just had a brain fart, but move out will work. And let me make sure you guys can see this. All right. Let me jump over here. All right, let me share that document with you here. So it should be this one here. All right, this gets a little tricky, so just give me a second. So you guys should be able to see this now. Let me just double check. Yep, perfect. Here in 1 second. All right. Now you should be able to see something. And I'm just going to verify that on my phone. Here's where it's giving me the problem. I'm trying to scroll down. This is where it gets tricky. Oh, I got to click on it. There we go. All right, excellent. Now we can scroll down. So this was, again, an order on third citation for contempt is what it's officially titled. And I'm just going to read the whole thing. It's just 2 pages. So it starts in the first paragraph. It starts by reading off, the above styled case having been called for hearing via Zoom on June 17, 2024, with petitioner appearing and represented by attorney S. Scott Sykes, and with respondent appearing and representing herself, and with the court hearing testimony and considering documentary evidence provided by both parties, the court does find and adjudge and orders as follows. Next paragraph, and this one's titled Contempt. The court finds and holds the respondent in contempt of the amended order on second citation for contempt, which was entered on December 22nd, 2023 in the Superior Court of Harris County, Georgia, civil action file, blah, blah, blah. For respondent's failure to pay the monthly mortgage payments, for her failure to maintain the home in a clean, show-worthy condition, and for the respondent's actions which have thwarted petitioner's efforts to list the marital home for sale. Second court order, and this is titled Second Court Order Requirements. Next paragraph. The court orders the respondent to vacate the property on or before 11:59 p.m. on September 20th, 2024. Oops. I was going to try to highlight it for you, but it doesn't let me. It'll screw it up. But you guys can see that. It's the last sentence there on this first page. So that's where it reads. We can confirm that the court did order that Michelle, the respondent, does need a vacate. That was the official word I was trying to think of, vacate. The property on or before 11:59 p.m. on September 20, 2024. Next page. At the closing of the sale of the home, the petitioner shall first be reimbursed all monies owed by the respondent for unpaid monthly mortgage payments and any additional monies owed by the respondent for her 1/2, 50% of out-of-pocket home repairs paid by the petitioner. And the balance of net proceeds shall be split by the parties equally, 50-50, once the home is sold. All right? Reservation, last paragraph. The issue of attorney's fees is reserved. Signed and dated July 12th of 2024. Okay? So there is your court order proof that, yes, she did have to vacate the home, okay, by the 20th. Now, let me see if this second bit of information is anything else. Oh, yeah, let me share this with you. Here's something else that's from the court that also shows that I think this is more like a kind of like a minutes note or, kind of more like a case update type of document. But either way, you can see that when we come down here, it reads, under cases not ready for the following reasons, it says, please pass to allow defendant to move out of the, I think that says TI's house by 9/20/24, pursuant to the last order entered. This actually, I think, date answered filed was November 6th of 2023 last year. This was just filed last month, but it looks like this was filled out last year. So it looks like they've been trying to get her out of that house by that date for a while now. I'm going to guess. Like I said, I'm kind of new to the civil side, so I'm just going based on what I'm reading on. But the judge finally did sign, because this is not a court order, okay, what we're reading now. The last thing we just read was a court order. And that is the judge stating that she's got to be out by that date. Now, here's to answer some of your questions, because this is the question that I had. Okay, people are saying, well, what's going to happen? Okay, they got to, obviously, when you get evicted and it's court ordered, usually that means the sheriff show up, and if you're not out, they arrest you. Usually that's what happens. But here's the thing. Remember, they said that was she had to be out by Friday by midnight. Okay, so you got to remember that judge is gone out of their office at 5 o'clock that Friday. They're not going to know what happened, whether she got out or she's still there, until today. Okay? So, to answer your question, and again, this is from my own just kind of guess, okay? I don't know anything officially. I haven't talked to Michelle. I haven't talked to the sheriff's department. I haven't talked to her attorney or anybody that represents Etienne's party, anything like that. But I'm going to guess that today, if she didn't move out, say she didn't move out, okay, she said, fuck you, and she's still there. I think today is the date that the judge would then find out, assuming she's still there, that she didn't do what the court order said she was supposed to do. And then today would possibly, or sometime this week, would be the time that then that judge would then officially order an eviction. That's a whole separate piece of paperwork that judge needs to sign. Okay, pretty much stating, sheriff's department, if that's who they use, you're going to go down and evict this individual if they're not gone by the time you get down there. Maybe they give them another 24 hours. Maybe they give them 1 hour. I'm not too familiar. As a matter of fact, I did look up something having to do with that in Georgia. Let me share that bit of information with you if I still have it up here. It had to do with Georgia, evictions in Georgia. Eviction. Oh, yeah. Court order eviction. Georgia. Yeah, this is having to do more with the landlord-tenant issue. I don't have it up. I had it up yesterday when I was looking up more info about it, but pretty much it was just going over how the eviction process goes when it's ordered by the court, and with the sheriff department and everything. And again, if I can remember correctly, it pretty much states that there's what we just read, that court order is not technically the eviction paperwork that would be needed, that the sheriff would need to officially evict her. Okay, that's where I'm going with this update. So again, I don't know what's going on with her. I guess according to a lot of people that have contacted me, she's been MIA. Who knows what's going on with her? But I did just kind of want to confirm some of that information with you guys, that yes, there was a court order that she had to be out by this Friday, but more than likely she wasn't arrested. More than likely she's not in jail right now. And if that was even going to happen, it would probably be sometime this week once the judge or the courts find out that she didn't leave or vacate, technical word. And then I think it's called a writ of, even though this is more with the landlord-tenant side of it, I think it's still the same paperwork, which I think would be the a writ of possession is the paperwork that judge would have to sign off on. Again, I may be wrong. I don't know too much about how that process works in Georgia, but just based on what I read and based on, other states and how it works here in the state of New Mexico, there is like a last piece of paperwork that needs to be signed by the judge before they can evict you. And that court order was not it, is where I was going with that. So, and if I find out more info regarding this, I'll share it with you guys. Again, like I said, I'm kind of staying away from the civil side or divorce side of her case, just mainly concerned with covering the criminal side. But if anything else develops from this, being that I've brought up some info having to do with it, I will definitely get you guys an update. All right, let's move on to our third and last court update having to do with our non-national court news. That's with Trina Golden, okay? So with Trina, I'm going to kind of be following up an update that I did on my last update, which I think was last week. I can't remember what day. But this had to do with a few motions that had been filed on her behalf, okay? One of them was a motion to... let me just jump over to her paperwork, and I'm going to share that with you guys. Give me 1 second. I got a zillion tabs up right now. Okay, I think I put her towards the end here. Yep, okay, here we go. So one of the motions that were filed on her behalf was a motion for a new trial. And on my last update, I had gone over, when again, I had gotten this information from directly calling the Johnson County District Attorney's Office, spoke with one of their representatives, and they explained to me what had happened on her last hearing, okay, which was on the 17th. She had 2 hearings, one on the 17th and one on the 19th of September, okay? And then, of course, she's got her sentencing hearing, which is still scheduled for September 26th. There was a change made on her time. So on these notes that we're going to read, and let me just make sure you guys can see them. Nope. Let me go here. Give me 1 second. Let me jump over here for you guys, with you guys. All right. Now you guys should be able to see them. Okay. So the top note, the one that says schedules sentencing or canceled sentencing, it was not canceled. It was just rescheduled for a different time. It was just actually bumped up 15 minutes. So instead of it starting on the 26th at 1:30, actually, excuse me, it was they went down 15 minutes. So instead of it starting at 1:30 p.m. on September 26th, it's scheduled now to start at 1:15 p.m. on September 26th. Okay. But anyways, going back to what I was saying earlier, in regards to that motion having to do with the new trial, I was able to speak with one of the representatives in the district attorney's office, and they were able to update me on that motion was actually denied. Okay. Now, there was a second motion that was filed, and that was for a withdrawal. Now, that the representative didn't have any other information regarding that other than the fact that they were going to be hearing that motion or was continued for the 19th, okay? And that's where the new notes came on. I don't know if the last update I was able to read the notes from the 19th. I think I did, but if not, we're going to go over those again. Also, I'll go over the new notes that came up on the 20th, and then I'm going to share some other things with you regarding this case, okay? But right here, we're going to start off with the 19th, okay? So again, according to the representative, they were continuing to hear the second motion on this date, which was the motion for withdrawal, okay? Here's the new notes. First note, 9/19/2024, and I'll highlight what I'm reading. Defense attorney Hunter Michael C. deleted. Next note, defense attorney Brunkhorst Joshua D. appointed. So just based on those 2 notes, it sounds like the motion to withdraw was approved by the judge. And that's now why you see that her now attorney has withdrawn, and they've now appointed her previous attorney, which was her original public defender. Okay. Remember, she had a public defender, then she got rid of him, then she represented herself for like a couple of hearings. Then the judge finally said, you either got to get a private attorney or go back to the public defender. She ended up getting a private attorney who she's had up until, I guess, the 19th. That was the attorney that filed the motion, I guess, to withdraw. I don't know what happened between her and her attorney. I did talk to somebody that does work as an attorney, and I asked him, I said, well, let me ask you this. Would it make sense for the attorney to withdraw from literally her last possible hearing, the sentencing hearing, because she couldn't afford their attorney services up until that hearing? And one, their answer was most likely no. Second, a judge has to be the one, obviously, to approve that withdrawal. I doubt a judge would allow a attorney to withdraw, especially from their client on the last or sentencing hearing coming up, just because there's no more, money to cover them. Okay. So I just was wondering if that could have been the case. Probably not. So what happened between her and her private attorney, I have no clue. All I can just tell from here is it looked like the motion to withdraw was approved. They went ahead and withdrawed her current attorney, and they have now appointed her the old public defender, okay? And that was Joshua D. Brunkhurst. Next note. Count 1, 21-5430, open parentheses, C, close parentheses, open parentheses, 2, close parentheses. Plaintiff appears by Olson and Obermeyer. Defendant appears in custody with attorney Hunter. Comment. Hunter withdraws. Brunkhurst appointed. So there you go. That does officially verify what I just said. So the judge did approve the motion to withdraw. Her private attorney has been withdrawn, and they went ahead and assigned her previous public defender. Next note. This was now going to be dated note on the 20th, okay? Next day from her last hearing. Canceled sentencing on 9/26/24, 1:30 p.m. Division 9. The note after that, date stamped 9/20/24. Scheduled sentencing on September 26/24, 1:15 p.m. Division 9. So there you go. Again, just confirming they didn't cancel the sentencing hearing. They just went ahead and rescheduled it to start 15 minutes prior than the original starting time of 1:30 p.m. So for those of you that, again, have your pen, paper, you're going to be changing that sentencing hearing time from 1:30 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. And again, that is Central Standard Time. That's going to be out of Olathe, Kansas, or out of the Johnson County District Courthouse. And pretty much we're going to wait till that date. If there's any other information that comes up between now and then, I'll share that with you. Other than that, we're going to be waiting till, let's see, Thursday the 26th. Today is Monday the 23rd. So this Thursday is going to be that sentencing date. And I'll have more information on whether, one, I can provide you any video or audio on that sentencing hearing, or at the bare minimum, we're going to find out exactly what she was sentenced with. Again, she was she was found guilty on 3 charges, with a very serious charge of distributing drugs leading to a death, with the outcome of a death. Distribution of drugs leading to the outcome of a death. That's the one that I'm sure she's going to be serving some serious jail or prison time, but we won't know until she's sentenced officially on the 26th. All right. I'm not going to, I know we can kind of maybe guess just based on her previous record and, what the charges she's been found guilty on carry, but let's just find out exactly. Well, I guess we'll find out exactly here in a few days on Thursday. Now, another thing I wanted to share with you that has to do with this case. Let me go to my notes. There's an article. There's actually a press release from the Johnson County District Attorney's Office that I actually, when I was going through just looking some information up, having to do with this update, that I actually had found. So I've never shared that with you guys. For some of you that have never seen this, I'm going to share that with you. And then let's see. Oh, that's right. So remember, she still, let's go. Let me give you the exact date. But remember, she still's got to face the judge for her pretty much breaking her probation. Okay. She was pretty much, she had been bonded out, and then she was arrested again, out of bond for breaking her probation. Okay. Which we, till this date, still don't know what she did to break that probation. We're probably going to find out here on the 26th, because here's what I found out when I was doing a little bit of case research here. When you go to her she's got other charges. Let me share that with you. Make sure you guys can see this. Some of them are closed. Some are still open. Some are still pending. And the reason they're open is because she was given probation on the charges that she pled guilty to. And that's the probation she was given and the probation she broke, okay? So you got to remember, in addition to the new charges that she's going to be sentenced on this Thursday, she still's got to face the judge for breaking her probation on her previous charges, okay, from some other cases she had in the past. Now, I'm just going to go to one of these cases here to give you an example, all right? This one was actually, let's go to a more recent one. Let's see. I think it's this one down here. Here we go. This one was from the year 2020. Okay. At least that's when she was sentenced. All right. This was a few counts, but they dismissed. Looks like they gave her a plea deal because they dismissed 2 counts and they found her guilty on 2 counts. So they dismissed the felony, which was felony possession of something. Oh, looks like under the drug amphetamines. So that one was dismissed. They found her guilty of a first marijuana charge, which is a misdemeanor. They dismissed another first marijuana charge. And then they gave her, looks like, a guilty charge on a drug paraphernalia charge. So this was from 2020, okay? When you go to here under case history, one, you'll see under status here at the top that I just highlighted, it's O. So it's open, still open. When it's closed, it'll say C. And if you see here on the dates, look at what's different from here. And then we're going to go to her newest case, okay? The case that she's getting sentenced on this 26th. That way you can see how the note's different. But look up here under the 20th. They canceled and then rescheduled her probation revocation hearing. And it's at the same date and time and with the same judge as her sentencing hearing. So what, again, and I'm just guessing at this point, not a judge or a lawyer, but I have a feeling they're going to take care of that probation revocation issue on the same date that she's getting sentenced, okay? Makes sense. They're trying to save some money to the taxpayers. But again, we won't find out till this Thursday when I have some more information to you as, one, what, she was sentenced, what her sentence is, and two, I guess, if I can find out what she did to break her probation and what's going to happen to her for that, we'll get that update. All right. So that concludes. Let me just make sure. Oh, I almost forgot. This is what I was going to show you on the last court update I did on Trina Golden. So I would have been pissed that I forgot 2 times in a row, but I didn't. So let me share this screen with you. Here's that press release. This came the same, probably a few days or the day of the day she was found guilty, or the jury found her guilty of those 3 charges. So the district attorney's office from Johnson County went ahead and put out a press release. I didn't know that this existed till yesterday. So, or no, a few days ago, before the last update, not yesterday. So let me present that to you guys. Take that, share screen. Here we go. We'll start from here. Got to scroll down to the press release, which is golden down here. Looks like this came out on July 18th. So here's your press release. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Oh, now you guys should be able to. Excuse me. Perfect. All right. So I'll read this for you just in case you can't see. But Office of District Attorney press release. Office of District Attorney Stephen M. Howe, District Attorney, press release for immediate release. This is dated July 19, 2024. So it came out the next day. On July 18, 2024, a jury found Trina Lynn Golden guilty of distribution of drugs causing death and 2 counts of use of a communication facility during a drug felony in case number 22CR3438. The victim was a 19-year-old Madeline Miller who died of an overdose in July of 2020. Assistant District Attorneys Daniel Obermeyer and Abby Olson prosecuted this case with the assistance of the Overland Park Police Department and the Johnson County Crime Lab. This case is set for sentencing on September 26, 2024 at 1:30 a.m. That's probably a misprint. I'm sure they mean p.m. in Division 9. So that was a pretty interesting press release that came out July 19th from their district attorney's office down there at Johnson County. But I just wanted to share that with you guys since I hadn't ever shown that to you guys. All right, so that should conclude my court update having to do with Trina Golden. Just prior to her, we did a little bit of an update on what was going on, supposedly with the whole Michelle MGL eviction. And then we started off the show by discussing the was supposed to be a pretrial conference for EBZ that was scheduled today that has now been rescheduled again. I think we said for the 3rd or 4th time, for now scheduled for October 28th at 9:15 a.m. Same time, same division. And this is an in-person hearing. So what do we have for the rest of the month? Well, we have to update. We'll find out this Thursday on September 26th what happened with Trina Golden's sentencing hearing. And then we move on to a pretty busy October. I don't think we have anything else scheduled for September other than, anything else that may pop up or any other breaking news updates. Maybe have some fun IRL, things scheduled. Like I said, I'm going to be broadcasting here after this show, a fun IRL stream. It's going to be my second harvest of the world's record or contestant for the world's record size cannabis cola / bud that I've nicknamed Frankenbud. I think I've only talked about Frankenbud. I don't know if I've ever shown you Frankenbud. So for some of you that have never seen the Frankenbud, you may want to stick around. I'll post the notification. That'll probably be in an hour after I end here. But yeah, we're definitely cutting down Frankenbud. Today is the day, officially. No ifs, ands, or buts. And the reason not because it has anything really to do, has nothing to do with Halloween. It's kind of cool that it's going to work out this way. But again, this has to do with me checking the trichomes. I was going to take it down last week, 7 days ago, but I went ahead and listened to the advice of Super Roofer, who's been very helpful on this project, which is my first grow project. For some of you that don't know, this is an outdoor grow project. And I was told to wait till I had a few of the amber trichomes, and which I do. So it is time. As a matter of fact, I wasn't even going to let it have the amber trichomes, but I'm going to take your advice this time, and we'll see how it works. Now, being that I'm harvesting it today, that leaves me 7 days to dry it. Then I'm going to do a 30-day cure. 7 days from today leaves us to September 30th. Is there 30 days in September? Yep. And then 30 days to cure. So that gives us pretty much the availability, technically, of this weed to be smoked on Halloween Day, my friends. So and not only does it look like a Frankenbud, you'll see here in a bit, but it's going to be ready for Halloween. So I'm excited. All right. Moving to some of the national news that I wanted to share with you before I end the stream. For some of you that have been following some of the national news that I started on, this was from last week. We had talked about the shooting in Kentucky. Remember, that was the shooter that they had last update I'd given you. They had not found yet. There was a massive manhunt for him. We had discussed the second assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump at his golf course. We also had discussed and gone into and I was going to say, out of all the national news we've been covering as far as court related, I think we went quite in depth to it, and that's why I'm going to continue covering it. We talked about and discussed the Puff Daddy, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Love, a.k.a. remember he had like 5 or 6 different names, recent criminal and more specifically federal criminal case that has been charged against him or filed against him in federal court, more specifically in the state of New York, their federal court. So we discussed that. So let me give you some updates from that because some things have changed. In regards to the shooter, this is out of Kentucky. This has to do with the manhunt. They have found him. As a matter of fact, they found him dead, deceased. As a matter of fact, the people that found him, let me show you right now, was some YouTubers, all right? Let me share this with you. This is their channel here. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Oops, you can't. Now you can. Don't know much about him. Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures is a channel name. But this looks like an IRL or YouTube couple. Again, I don't know what their primary content's about, but they must have been in that area and decided to go help on this manhunt or search. And while they were live and they were on this search, they came across this individual's deceased body.
Okay, guys, we're live.
Now, I am going to give you a warning. You are going to see a bit of the deceased body. This is what the news has been showing. Obviously, YouTube has the video still up, so it's nothing that's going to be graphic enough to deem, not suitable for YouTube. But let me show you exactly how this went down. But for some of you that didn't know, the shooter has been found. He was found deceased. I'm not too sure. I'll check right now if they figured out if he was, more or less, how he died. I'm guessing it was probably from him, doing it to himself. But I'm wondering if it was right after the shooting or if it had been, a few days or almost a week that I guess this manhunt went on. But either way, the police and another organization, I believe, had put out some money out, a reward money. I believe these people should be getting it. Let me show you how this went down. It's just crazy how this is, you think national news, national case, and just how this went down with 2 streamers is pretty crazy. But let me show you here. I'm going to fast forward to the part where they come up to the body here. It's about 30 minutes. It's about a 30-minute stream, and it happens right at about the 30-minute mark. So let me just shoot over to like 29 minutes here. NJ, time to pay your YouTube bill. Right, there we go.
That's right. So if y'all
See you later, Cesar.
can get in touch with him, tell him that way that he can come by. We will. Thank you, Diggin' Mary. Somebody said he's in Ohio today. Somebody said he was in Ohio, but there's something dead here. So I don't know. No, just when the wind blew, like you said, it was stout. Yeah, I don't either, because they were on their way, and then they told us to stay here. So I don't smell it now, baby. But man, it was strong. So it has to be up in this hollow here. Has to be down through here. Because that's what I'm saying. Oh. You found him? Oh, my Lanta. I'm coming. Oh, my Lanta. You found him?
He's deteriorated.
Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my Lanta. Ow, sticker bars. Oh, gosh. Look.
Cover your left leg. Cover your left.
Oh, gross.
No picture. I'm saying, sir, you got it. You got it. Listen, you got it. No picture. Okay, take it. You'll get it.
That's it, ladies and gents. So just wanted to share that bit of an update with you guys. While that video was going on, I was reading a little bit further to see what other updates they have said about this whole incident. And it appears just a couple of days ago, they did confirm, or at least on Friday, they confirmed that it was the body of Joseph Couch, who was the alleged shooter. They also, in the autopsy, they were able to confirm that it does look like it was a self-inflicted wound. That is what caused his death, which, you know, pretty much anybody with common sense could guess. Did look like his body was pretty decompositated, or what's the word? Decomposed, excuse me. Ugh. So I would imagine he'd probably been out there a while. So I'm going to guess, my guess, and I don't think that's what I was trying to read in the updates, and I didn't see anything yet, whether they could decide it or figure it out, you know, more or less when he did self-inflict himself with the gunshot wound. Was it right after the shootings, or was it, you know, a few days that he had been, you know, running around trying to escape the law enforcement and then decided to, you know, inflict that gun wound to himself? I'm going to guess, based on the way they found his body, probably done it right after, but I guess we'll find out with time. All right. I did get that question. As a matter of fact, thank you, Sunshine, for reminding me to look at my phone, because I have a few shout outs that I need to make, and I apologize for just realizing that now. One, I want to say a huge thank you to ICU. Thank you so much, ICU, for that $10 Cash App. That reads for fun. Thank you so much, ICU. Thank you. This Gabble Slam goes out to you. You guys know what to do in chat. Spam them gabbles if you got them, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that. Always, ICU. Thank you for your continued support, my friend. And then we had a few members of the jury celebrating some anniversaries today. As a matter of fact, we've got Sicilian Princess celebrating a 16-month anniversary that reads, "This is for following a great court channel. Thank you so much for 16 months of continued support, Sicilian Princess." This Gabble Slam goes out to you. You guys know what to do in chat. Spam them gabbles if you got them, please. And then we've got Tamron Hall celebrating officially 14 months as a member of jury today. And Tamron says Ski needs that wound culture or antibiotics. I agree with you on that one. And Tamron, thank you so much for celebrating 14 months as a continued member of the NJCourts members of the jury. This Gabble Slam goes out to you. You guys know what to do in chat. Keep spamming those gavels, please. All right. Now, in other news, and this is going to be my last update as far as some national news going on. P. Diddy. So I think the last update I had told you, pretty much, you know, they had, you know, pressed federal charges against him. They indicted him. He already knew it was going to happen because he pretty much made his way down to New York, state of New York, more specifically the city of Manhattan. They arrested him. Then they unsealed the indictment the next day. We went over that. That's what we did. That's right. We went over the indictment. And then pretty much we were waiting to see if he was going to get bonded out, or if they were going to, you know, set a bail amount for him. Okay. That has been denied. So that is my update. Okay. As a matter of fact, his lawyers argued for a bail amount of $50 million. And the judge went ahead and denied that. And probably a good reason. Doing some just my own investigation, I found out that he's got a private jet. So it's probably not very hard for him to leave the country. Obviously, they've, you know, made him turn in his passport, excuse me. But either way, you can still get out of the country without one, especially when you got money. But even arguing for a $50 million bond, the judge said no. So he still remains in custody in jail as we speak. His next trial is going to be October 9th. So next hearing will be October 9th. So he'll be staying in, obviously he's in a special custody cell. They don't got him out with the boys out in the yard. But, for a guy like that, I'm sure it sucks a lot to be in jail right now, especially with no bond and with the next hearing of October 9th. So further updates to come. As a matter of fact, if you do your own update right now, and there's so many to go over, just right now, the civil side, this is just criminal. Just the civil side, this guy for the last year has had over, I think, 5 or 6 individuals that are suing him. I don't know what the outcome or outcomes have been of these suits, but have sued him with allegations of sexual assault, sexual harassment, pretty much a lot of the stuff that we went over in this indictment that we read last week. So it's coming into light now on the, obviously in the news, but sounds like a lot, and you can do your own investigating, but it sounds like this has been happening, and this is based on some of the information from one of the people that are suing. Some people are anonymous. This has been going on since like 93 when he was first starting to come into the music scene. So it's been going on for a while now. Just people are starting to talk. There's reasons why they didn't in the past. And you can read about that. But just to give you kind of a small update on what's going on with old P. Diddy, he is still in jail, and rightfully so, my personal opinion. All right, ladies and gents. I'm going to see if I have anything else to talk about. Oh, there was a question somebody had. Excuse me. There was a question, and thank you, Sunshinery, for bringing that up to me. This was from Tamron Hall, and it says, NJCourts, and I think you're referring to MGL, but correct me if I'm wrong. Can her bond be revoked not having a legitimate physical address now? Is that who you're referring to? And if you are, I'm curious as to what bond. Oh, you're referring to the bonds having to do with their DUIs. I have to go back to those because in one case, I think she had bonded herself out. So she didn't use a bonding company, so she wouldn't have to adhere to the bonding company's conditions. Now, if the courts have set their own conditions to what they call pretrial conditions, I believe it's what they call it, and there's probably another name to it. Maybe. Again, I would have to look into that. I don't think that would be something that they would revoke the bond on just because of the situation. The fact being that she just, been evicted from her property and obviously, doesn't have a physical address yet. And obviously, I think this more has to do with if she'd say, for example, I think they could revoke her bond in that case if she had moved to another address and didn't report it. That for sure. So let's assume she moves to another address and she doesn't report that to the courts, or say she does have a bond through one of the bonding companies. That could maybe revoke her bond. But I don't think right now, let's say she did leave, being that it just happened, I don't think that they would revoke her bond. That's my personal opinion, especially the fact that she may have not moved into a new place yet. I think that's more reserved for people that, they moved to a new place and purposely are keeping that information from the courts. You know what I mean? But hopefully that helps answer. Again, I'm sorry I don't have too much information, but I'll look into it for you. Like I said, I wasn't going to dip too much into the civil side of this, but since I had a lot of people asking me about the whole eviction thing, well, if I get any more information about it having to do with the eviction, I'll definitely share that with you. Okay, Sicilian Princess says she did bond herself out of one. Okay, thank you. That's what I had thought. I can't remember on the other one. But again, hopefully that answered your question, Ms. Tamron Hall. And again, thank you for your continued support as a member of the jury. Okay, let me just make sure I didn't miss anything else. Remember, I'm not going to call it a day yet, so you're not going to worry about me screaming in your ears just right now, because I am going to be starting up another stream here in about an hour. It's 11:10, so let's just call it 12 o'clock. We'll just call it right at, well, that's 12 o'clock my time. But here in about 50 minutes, I'm just going to go prep a table. And actually, no. Let's do 1 o'clock because I'm going to eat. I forgot I got to eat. I didn't eat breakfast. So I want to eat really quick. So I'll put the notification out just in case that time changes. But let's just say here in a couple hours, I'm going to start up another stream and we're going to harvest that bad boy. All right. So if you're interested in seeing how this harvest is going to go, I invite you. It's not going to be anything long, you know what I mean? So like it's some, you know, Zozobra festival. We're going to be fucking burning shit down and dancing and stuff, unless you guys want to. Just going to snip it and let you guys look at it. I am going to brag a little bit, you know. It's mainly the reason why I'm going live with it. And then I'm going to dry it up, hang it for about a week, and we'll check on it once it gets to the curing process. More specifically, I'll let you know how it goes when we come up to October 31st or Halloween time, when it should be about that good time to be. All right. Oh, before I leave, I think I saw a lot of you guys. Oh, we're definitely going to be partying, Sunshinery. I think most of you were already talking about it a bit at the beginning, so I'm not going to jump into showing you any clips, just because I hate to give that guy any more attention than I have to. But there are clips out there. I think Janny, Imagine Being a Janny, just put out a clip showing you the tantrum that Ski Mask Andy just put out the other day. I would say out of the many times, I mean, I don't even know last year, but I know this year, I think in just 1 month already, we've already seen him cry 3 times or do his crying scam. But this one was probably one of the worst. I mean, just the way he went into it was just I was laughing, okay? Some of you may call me mean, but if you know exactly what's going on, oh, it's a hoot, all right? Let's just put it this way. Would you guys think that guy physically is even capable of even walking more than 5 miles in a day? No. I'm a marathon runner. I'm a long distance runner, believe it or not. I'll show you the medals here one day. I think I already showed you my medals before, but let's just put it this way. I've done distances way longer than 26.2 miles, and I've done a lot of 26.2 miles, okay? I've done one more notably called the Baton Death March, all right, which is one that I carry a 30 to 50-pound rucksack on my back and do a 26.2 mile march/run in less than 8 hours, okay? Now, when I complete that, I can't walk. I usually have to be carried pretty much to the car, okay? That's happened a few times. Sometimes I can kind of, you know, just kind of fumble, you know, my way to the car. But I can tell you the next day, at least for me, I can't walk. I can barely get out of bed, all right? But I sure as hell, with even that much pain, never cried like a little you-know-what, all right? That guy's going to be 40 years old, and he's going, and one, if you're in pain, why are you even going on stream? What is so eventful to share that with the people? I mean, I don't even call you a live stream. You're just a fucking homeless bum that uses the internet instead of doing it the right way and holding a sign like the rest of everybody else does, okay? You're so spoiled. You're too good to hold a sign on a street corner. You just do this shit. But it is pathetic to see a 40-year-old that claims to be a gangsta, Tulsa's kingpin or Midwest kingpin, crying like a fucking 5-year-old having a fit at Walmart because they didn't get the toy they wanted. All because he doesn't have his little weed money for the day. And then what I thought was hilarious is this bozo, when people are finally telling him, let's see the ankle. Let's see this swollen ankle. All right. This bozo just flashes it and shows you just 2 bandages on an ankle. Get the fuck out of here. Now, do you need to go see medical help for the holes and sores that are appearing on your skin? Yeah, I would. Absolutely. But cut the shit out, man. And also, it can't be that bad where you got to cry like a little girl, dude. Did you know there's men that have literally lived and died that have never cried? I have. I can't say that I'm one of them. I've cried. But there are men that have never cried. So to see a grown man cry 3 times in less than a month, all because he ran out of weed money, that is pathetic. All right. Shit, my ankle's more swollen than his just because I'm old and fat. Jeez. And I ain't crying. Just kidding. All right, you guys. Anyways, I think we gave Bozo enough attention for the day. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody that joined me on today's stream. I would appreciate on your way out, and only if you want to. Don't say I forced you to. If you don't mind don't slap, but just hitting that thumbs up button for me, I'd appreciate it. Helps me with the algorithm, and it lets me know if I'm doing an okay job. So, yeah, if you guys don't mind. But I thank you guys a lot. Thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you to the members of the jury. Thank you for all your continued support. Thank you for all the members that celebrated an anniversary today. Thank you again, ICU, for your support today with the $10 Cash App donation. I appreciate that. I appreciate all the viewers for being here. Thank you to all my mods for all your hard work and all your support. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their week. Again, if there's any breaking news having to do with any of the court-related updates, I shall break that for you. Otherwise, we can look forward to probably a court update coming up here on this Thursday, and that's going to have to do with the Trina Golden sentencing hearing. Otherwise, I'll see you guys here in a couple of hours, and we're going to cut down that bad boy, that behemoth of a bud. Like I said, if you guys haven't seen this one yet, just peek in, even if it's just a couple of minutes. We're not going to make it long, nothing too boring. Just going to look at it, snip it, cut it, hang it, and we'll call it an afternoon, ladies and gents. All right, my friends, we'll see you in a bit. Take it easy. I'm not going to say NJCourts is out, so don't worry about taking the earbuds or lowering the volume. I am just going to say peace, adios, and if we don't see you here in a couple hours, we'll see you this Thursday, hopefully, or on the next one. But definitely keep that head on a swivel. Make sure to check your 6 every once in a while. And please, please, please take some time to love somebody. Even like I always say, even if you love yourself, but if you already taken some time to love yourself, take some time to love somebody else, all right? Don't be too greedy. All right, you guys, we'll see you here hopefully later. Peace and adios. NJCourts is officially court-related. Out. Hold on. Dobby wants to say later too. Dobbs, you want to say bye? Or is that you just trying to... Oh, I didn't realize what you're doing. Looking at you guys, and I see that takes a second. What are you trying to do? Trying to win over a hot dog from me? All right, my little one. You get a hot dog. All right, you guys. Peace. Laters.